Now, we all know that height around the world varies by a lot. You have the Asian countries that are malnourished to the point where their population average is roughly the same height as a Toyota Corolla. Now, on the flip side, we have those Scandinavian countries that genetically modify their population to fucking cosplay Enderman. But for me, I live in North America, where the average isn't too tall or too short. Now, everyone knows that dating is a brutal market, so let me give you some of my own measurements so you can compare. Now, I'm an Asian guy who's around 5'9", so around 5'10" in shoes, and I'm actually 5'9" and not 5'6" with an ego and shoeless hidden in my Adidas. Now, let me undo all the years of gaslighting that you've buried yourself in. Now it's time to take a deep breath and repeat after me. I'm not 6 foot. Now, whether it's from a biological, social, or romantic standpoint, women on average do prefer if a guy is taller. Now, on the other hand, it's rather funny that guys really don't have a preference of height, other than her just being shorter than him, or else it cripples his ego. Now, guys generally around 5'9" or above really shouldn't have a problem finding a girlfriend, because there are plenty of girls that fall into this 8-inch ideal range. However, we're not talking about tall guys here. We're not even talking about average guys. We're talking about vertically challenged guys in dating. Now, let's start this video by defining what being short even means. Now, if you're 5'6" or under as a guy, I'm sorry, but you're considered vertically challenged. Now, that's okay though, because short people are great. Now, when you bend down as a guy to tie your shoes, pause, you don't have to reach down where it feels like a Mortal Kombat fatality. And recently, baggy and oversized clothes are now back in fashion, and luckily for you, everything is considered oversized. Clothes cost less, and hopefully you shop in the children's place because of your size and not something else. Now, being a guy with the size of the legs of bowling pins is a great life, until the point where you start dating. Now, as a species, humans have done a lot of things. We've invented cars, new forms of communication, and even AI to take our own jobs. However, it seems like we still can't understand why a girl who looks like Manny from Ice Age is demanding the top 1% of men. Now, basic biology tells us that this isn't abnormal. Male forms of species usually fight each other, sometimes to death, over their female counterparts. Now, we have learned to be civilized, not like those barbaric creatures, and so the next time you beg a 2, just remember that the only reason why you did it was because no one else wanted it. Now, because of the social path deviating from animals, humans now have preferences on who they want to date, and by people, I mean 99% of girls. Now, when you first meet someone, what about them first seems attractive? Now, we've come to the age-old question of appearance versus personality, which shouldn't actually be a question at all. Now, the personality of a person does of course matter. You wouldn't want to be spending your life with someone who has the personality of a shriveled prune, but you also wouldn't even get that far into figuring out their actual personality if it weren't for their initial looks. Now, appearance can be roughly divided into two main factors: attractiveness and height. Now, these two metrics are solely responsible for the majority of initial attraction. Now, let's say you're really hot, but you're really short. Now, you put all your stats into attractiveness, but not height, and so for a lot of women, this would actually be a deal breaker despite the insane face card. Now, let's say it's the opposite. You're really clapped, but you're really tall. Now, in the second case, some girls would actually still date you just off this simple factor. Now, in reality, most people fall somewhere in between these extreme cases. Now, let's go all the way back to our vertically challenged friends. Now, in Western society, unfortunately, being short is indeed a massive hindrance for finding a partner. Most girls that I see on campus are built like giant sequoias, and so their preferences are even greater. Now, preference for height actually depends a bit on the girl themselves. Sure, you have the 4'11" hobbits demanding G League players, but for normal girls, being just taller than them is perfectly fine. Now, the problem is that most of the bare minimum is not just that. That's like medical schools saying that the bare minimum to apply is a 3.0. You're not getting in with a 3.0. Now, to counter this as a 5'6" guy, we explore various options to counterbalance your genetically seen atrocity. Now, the first option would be to wear thicker shoes. Shoes that make you look average height in public until you're told to take them off at her place and then stare eye to eye with her. Now, the next option is being really funny or attractive. Now, most short guys with girlfriends have either one or both of these traits on lock, coming off the fact that they have to. Now, most tall and attractive guys don't actually know how to talk to girls because they just automatically fall into their lap.
I'm Harry, I'm 23. Are you sure you're a muggle? Because that arse is magical.
However, short guys have been honing this skill for years, even decades. They know what it's like to be rejected, and so when a girl finally comes along that doesn't mind a guy on the shorter end, they're gonna take it. Now, the last avenue a short guy can take is being successful and rich. And while most men do prefer if women didn't want them only for their money, a multimillionaire 5'6" guy is only marginally better than a homeless guy who's 6 foot in the eyes of women. Now, of course, another beneficial aspect of money is that of when street poet Lil Uzi Vert claimed that, quote, "I stand on my money, then my height it turned to 9'10", which of course solves both the height and monetary issues that short men face. Hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. Yeah! 10K, let's get it!